What's up guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In this video I will share some core teams I use for campaign push in mid-game around chapter 35 plus to chapter 40 plus, which are very free to play friendly and you don't really need to think too much about them. Those teams are not very applicable to early stages because you don't get the access to enough engraving or furniture for those heroes to unleash their full potential. And also not very applicable to a late game because obviously the level deficit is much higher and you need more flexibility for each team and more powerful heroes such as awakened heroes, or otherwise you get mailed pretty quickly. So the teams I'm sharing today are all pretty decent in mid-game and I use them for every elite stage. There are one or two core heroes in each team and you can adjust other support heroes in the team based on different stages. The first team is built around Ainz and Albedo. I don't think I really need to talk too much about Ainz's burst power. He has always been one of the best burst mages in the game since his release. As long as your front line can keep him alive, he just nukes everyone on the enemy side. I'm currently at around 135 level deficit, and literally every stage I'm gonna talk today, they overkill the enemy. The only reason I'm kind of stuck because I made a very big mistake on Thorin, which I'm gonna talk about later. So I already got victory for my 4 fixed teams, including this one. You really don't need 5 heroes for this team at my level deficit. I only invested in Ainz and Albedo. What you do is just throw in some other dimensional heroes and they will just do the job. The second team is Anna plus Graveborn. I recently got Anna to the Ascended level and I think it's enough. Obviously you can go 1 star if you want some extra engraving, but just Ascended level is fine. The core heroes of this team are Anna, Gruzol, and Silas. An important thing is you kinda need Gruzol's furniture 9 out of 9 because it gives the summoned warriors the shield effect, which is more damage and more survivability. The major damage output is also Gruzol, so I would prioritize him in this team. Pharrell and Odin are generally pretty good. You can sub them out with other heroes such as Nara and Tassi, but I just put them there every stage and they work just fine. The third core team is Lucretia team. She's basically the highest Stargaze priority in the game right now. I don't think any AFK arena player is unaware of her power. You just let your team die and she solo carries every time. You do need to adjust her teammates from time to time because sometimes she is not able to tank enemies' initial burst to get her ultimate active. So you can put a Brutus at the front to give her some time before she can do the carry. Basically get her 9 furniture and 60 engraving as soon as possible after reaching 1 star and she will be your biggest powerhouse. The next team is built around Mahira and Rosaline. Basically, if you have enough haste, you perma-CC the enemy team and they kill each other. Normally you can put Rowan and Laika here for some extra energy and haste, but it's a Mahira single carry team. You can replace them with Kryn, because Kryn's ultimate synergizes with them very well. And he can also do some insane amount of AoE to the enemy. So for this team, you need to prioritize Mihira's signature item because it gives her extra energy with healing at level 30. And at the same time, Rosaline's engraving because it gives extra healing which converts into extra Mihira energy. And what should have been the 5th team of lazy progression is the biggest mistake I made, which is Thorin Cheese. You probably know Thorin Cheese because basically 80% of player formations on YouTube use it. If you don't know, basically you build a team around Thorin and gather the enemy team together and Thorin one-shot them using his ultimate damage reflection. In order for this team to work, you must not engrave Thorin. Engraving will increase his survivability and give him extra stats, so the damage output from his damage reflection is actually reduced, so he cannot one-shot the enemy. Because I over-invested in him, I lost the opportunities to use Thorin Cheese for the stages, so I have to find a 5th team every stage instead of using Thorin as my 5th team. So if you take a look at my previous stages, I used the 4 teams that I just mentioned for every stage. 40-4, there's Ainz, Mahira, Random Team, Ona, Lucretia. 40-8, Ainz, Mahira Kryn, Lucretia, Ona, and Random Team. 40-12, Ainz, Ona, Mahira Kryn, Lucretia, and another team. So yeah, the 4 core teams I mentioned in this video are pretty strong for campaign push in mid-game around chapter 40. It's very free to play friendly and you don't really need to overthink for teams on different stages. Just don't make the Thorin mistake that I made, and you pretty much can use the same formations for every stage for quite a long time. Let me know what you think, or if you have a better lineup in mid-game, feel free to share. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.